A thing that I never liked about Dead by Daylight is the fact that you are always very restricted on movement, since you couldn't jump or climb anything. This makes the maps feel very flat and restrictive. Nowadays, we are all used to it, but I always loved to explore the maps of any game I could play. But I was very restricted by the walls around the map. I always had the question, what is beyond the walls of every single map in Dead by Daylight? Well, I will answer that question in today's video. My name is MintSkull, and today we will be exploring the out-of-bound parts of 4 maps that I chose that I believe are the most interesting ones. So sit back and enjoy, because there is a lot of cool stuff never seen before. The first map I decided to explore is Lery's Memorial Institute. I always wondered if there was a snowy outside to it, or what are those gigantic buildings that you can see through the windows inside Lery's. Well, there's actually nothing outside of Lery's. Everything is a fake facade, a single texture to give the illusion that there are more than one floor in Lery's, when in reality the entire map is just the playable part, which makes sense. I also wondered if there were outside parts close to the open windows that you can find sometimes in the borders of Lery's, but it turns out that they were also an illusion and there's nothing there, to give the effect that it's snowing, and during the night they just created these small boxes to cover the entire window, so it looks like there is more on the outside than in reality. And how about those gigantic buildings in Lery's? Well, turns out that they are just simple boxes with windows textured on top of them, and they are completely empty, which honestly again makes sense. I also found this weird, untextured floor with a grass patch on top of Lery's that I have no idea what the purpose is. And also, I found this small patch of terrain inside the exit gates walls of Lery's that you cannot access in any way, but I thought it was cool to see. Beyond that, Lery's is a very empty map, and there is nothing to do and it's hard to walk on without falling to the ground. The next map I decided to explore is Dawg Saloon, and I was very impressed at how beautiful the map looked like. I found out barrels, cactuses and rocks outside the map that you wouldn't be able to see from inside, and also how expansive the mountain rocks are in reality. However, we could not get closer to them since the floor was fake and you could fall through it. There is a very weird bug whenever I go to the survivor escape area, by the way, so if you suffer from epilepsy, please be careful watching these parts of the vid. With the warning out of the way, I noticed that the closest rock we could be inside is located in the first exit gate of the map. Just look at how beautiful the outside of Dawg Saloon is. It's so massive, and I would love to just run around and explore every single part of it. I found this very cool view that I took some time just appreciating because of how cool it looked like. On the second exit gate, I found a part where you can see inside the trial, and also a cactus clipping inside a rock, which I thought looks funny. I found more rocks on the way that you wouldn't be able to see from inside. And just look at this part of side of the map. There is a whole arch outside of Dawg. This is by far the coolest part of the map, since you practically cannot see this arch from inside and it looks so cool. I really have to congratulate the devs for giving such care for the outside of a map that you practically never will be able to see while playing. So at the end of this exploration, I decided to go back to the first exit gate and walk as far away as possible as I could. But just like I mentioned earlier, the floor is fake, and so I fell through and this teleported me back inside. The third map I chose is the RPD, which I found really cool. First of all, the inside of the map. As you can see, you could glitch inside the RPD and see how the rooms are constructed from above. I also took a quick peek at the third floor of the RPD, which sadly I have no idea how to access to, but it looks like it has a walkable floor. I decided to go down and found out the floor where the basement is supposed to spawn, which for my case it did not. So all I had is this empty ground terrain instead that I could walk on. And this was really cool since I could see behind the main statue at the center of the map, an angle never seen before. But the best part comes from exploring outside of the map. I simply jumped down from the top of the building and I started walking. Curiously enough, every single terrain in the RPD is actually walkable and has collision, which is really cool. I found out the buildings have more detail than I expected, with cool graffiti in the garage doors and the walls of these buildings in RPD. I could even see from inside the map, which is really cool and reminded me of the original Resident Evil 2 game. I continued walking for the first exit gate, and I found this massive building that was just a brick texture that I found really curious. On the exit gate, I found a police car that for some reason had the numbers 236 on it, and this is the only police car that has those numbers in the entire map. What do the numbers mean? I went to the other side of the RPD this time, and I found out an entire alleyway that you could not see anyway unless you glitch out of bounds like I did, which is amazing detail. It's honestly impressive how far back the out of bound map goes. You practically cannot see anything beyond the fog. I had to take a screenshot. Now to answer an important question. Most of you know that there is a zombie outside of the RPD no matter if you play Nemesis or not. So I had to find her and see how she looks fully. Well, to my surprise, she's not entirely textured, as she is missing her legs, and also another fact that I didn't know about her is that she is animated at a lower frame rate, which kinda remind me of the robots of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Finally, the question everyone probably asked for: what happens if you fall down the void? Well, you're so far away in this map that you could actually end up falling in a loop for a while before being teleported back to the ground. So when I used my chainsaw to come in closer to the spawn, I got teleported back to the closest walkable spot on the RPD to me. And that is all. If you for some reason want to see the entirety of the map, I will link down below a second video where I show every single bit of footage from my exploration around all the maps mentioned in this vid, so watch it if you're curious about how it looks like. Now for the final and most beautiful out of bounds map ever made in Dead by Daylight, the Eyrie of Crows. This map is so beautiful compared to the rest of the maps that it does not even look like a Dead by Daylight video if it weren't for me using Kate. Now wait a second, all my previous out of bound glitches were obviously Space Billy. How am I now found outside of the map with a survivor? Well, it's a secret glitch that I discovered that still works to this day, and if this vid reaches 1000 likes, I will reveal it in a future video where I'll also be talking about the rumored third way of escaping the trials. So if that piqued your interest, you already know what to do. Anyways, this map is beautiful, with a lot of cool parts outside of the map that are even fully textured and walkable, which impressed me a lot because this was not the case with the Dawg Saloon. You could see a hand buried in the sand very far away in the distance, and also more graves everywhere. The outside of this map is simply beautiful, and the amount of detail it has is just impressive. I decided to go as far away as I could to see if I can explore the graves found outside of the map, and you kinda can. The floor has collision until a certain distance, but after that it loses its properties. This is the furthest place I could go without the risk of falling, so I decided to go back and see how this small dune was from inside, and I found out the cool part that you could crouch on. I then accidentally fell back and went back again to the trial. Well, that was all for this vid. Did you find this exploration enjoyable? If you did, make sure to like this vid so it becomes more popular and more people can see this never seen before footage of Dead by Daylight. Also, you know I had to plug in my Twitch account, so if you want to follow the current challenge that I am attempting of Dead by Daylight, then please make sure to check it out sometime. Thank you for watching and have a great day.